kid, bro.
Sorry, people. Okay.
And this lady filmed her husband trying to get an autograph from the evil queen when he might have been a little rude by shoving the autograph book into the evil queen's face.
Would you like to take fast food or anything? Oh, that's how it's face.
Yeah, you should definitely make sure you're not rude around the evil queen. If you've ever been to Fantasyland at the Magic Kingdom, you might have spotted Gaston's Tavern Fountain. It has a statue of Gaston standing in LeFou, and Gaston is probably pretty proud of this. But sometimes guests can disrespect the rule. The fountain a little bit, like this lady who put her feet in the water of the fountain. And one time, Gaston even caught a rule breaker trying to climb his fountain and yelled at the rude park guest to get off.
Get off my fountain! No! I don't go to your village and stand on your stuff!
Gaston is one of the characters that's allowed to be mean to park guests because it fits with the character, and it definitely was needed in this moment. Imagine getting yelled at by Gaston at Disney World. Loki was not afraid to tell a little girl off for trying to grab onto his arm while he was walking through a crowd of people. Right as soon as the kid tried pulling on Loki's arm, he immediately turned around and told her not to touch him. Hopefully that will teach that little girl in the future to not pull on characters because they're people too. Kylo Ren seemed pretty pissed off about this parent that let her kid wander right into the middle of his path. Kylo Ren was trying to play it cool as he walked, but he suddenly ran into a child and immediately went to stare down their mom. And the mom played along with the character, but Kylo Ren might have actually been angry here. Luckily, Kylo Ren walked away and no one ended up getting hurt. And this person on TikTok got to see Mickey Mouse while at the Hollywood and Vine restaurant. And Mickey Mouse had to tell the lady to move out of the way because he was trying to walk through. Some people in the comments said Mickey was rude for doing this. But at the same time, the characters come up to your table when you're dining there. What do you think of this video? Mickey Mouse got very upset in this video from the early 1990s when a boy went up to Mickey while he was trying to have a moment with another park guest. Mickey Mouse lightly pushed the boy away from him, and the kid seemed to get pretty angry at this and actually tried to fight back, slapping the big mouse. Mickey immediately tried to defend himself, but the kid ran away, and a lady in the crowd scolded the boy for what he had just done, which Mickey, of course, agreed with.
Don't do that to Mickey. That's not nice, you big boy.
Mickey definitely does not deserve any slaps from park guests. And in 2024, a video went on TikTok of a guy trying to lift up Pluto during a meet and greet. The characters have very limited vision, so this was probably pretty scary for Pluto to suddenly be lifted off the ground. And Pluto was furious after this and stormed out of the area with no character attended with him. He even gave two cast members a shrug as if to say, I guess I'll just come out later since people want to be disrespectful. And Pluto finished it off with a 360 wave as he went through the doors backstage. Safe to say, Pluto was not happy about that situation. And these kids rushed past the chain barrier in between Pluto and them. And Pluto decided to take matters into his own hands to lead the kids out of the area. He motioned for them to go under the chain. Pluto was definitely not having any of that. And Pluto had to deal with another rude guest when this person filmed himself sticking their hand into Pluto's mouth to flick his tongue. And after they did it a second time, Pluto already had enough and swatted their hand away. The caption says, Pluto did not like that. and they are certainly correct. This little girl was all over Minnie Mouse while she was trying to walk, and the child almost tripped Minnie up. Minnie couldn't believe it when she looked over and saw the little girl standing right next to her. And Minnie ended up not giving the girl a hug because she had to be in another spot. When Disney characters have a place to be, they aren't allowed to hug any park guests.
I don't know how Little Caesars brought the pizza deal back.
Bruh.
2 large pizzas for $4.99 each.
And Stitch was seen in this clip having to juke out a kid that was trying to hug him as he was walking out to his meet and greet spot. Stitch had to put his arms out and walk to the side of her to get past the girl. And a similar thing happened when a young boy ran up to Winnie the Pooh as he was walking. But this time, Pooh had a cast member with him, and Winnie the Pooh was able to hide behind the cast member. If Winnie the Pooh stops to hug the kid, he could get distracted from where the cast member is and either get lost or not get to his meet and greet spot on time. Nobody likes an audience member eating loudly during a show, and apparently Crush the Sea Turtle doesn't like it either, because he called out a lady for eating hot Cheetos after being told there was no eating.
So, Aqua Arlene, what are you munching on?
Hot Cheetos.
Oh, did you not see the moonfish?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The moonfish, you know
No,
how
I didn't see the moonfish.
yeah, they were saying how there's no eating in here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they worked really hard on that.
Dad, what did you see me?
I couldn't help. I mean, you were just sitting there like,
Arlene definitely will not be messing with Crush's theater ever again. And the cast members can also get annoyed by rude
doesn't
park guests
sound like
as well.
Crush.
Like in this video from a Kilimanjaro safari ride when a park guest started whistling while a giraffe
The witch on whatever street, it's more real than that thing. But nine minutes.
came close to the safari truck they were in. The truck driver knew this could scare the giraffe, had to tell the park guest off, but they just wouldn't stop whistling.
You gotta make sure not to whistle, please. Please stop. If someone around them could please tell them to stop whistling, I would appreciate it.
And another time a cast member had to deal with rude park guests is when all the Carousel of Progress riders in the theater just kept getting up and leaving.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be for your safety. Since people are continuing to exit the building, please remain in one location, and a Disney cast member will come to assist you out of the theater. Once again, remain in your location, and a Disney cast member will come to assist you. Thank you.
They can't start the show unless everyone is seated because the theater rotates. Despite the cast member having to literally yell into the microphone, people just kept on getting up out of their seats and leaving. He even started speaking in Spanish just in case anyone didn't know what he was saying.
Damas y caballeros, por su seguridad, manténgase dentro del teatro. Un empleado de cast member para ir a asistirlo para poder salir del teatro. Por su seguridad, manténgase en el teatro hasta que un cast member llegue a su localización para poder salir.
And yet still, people were getting up. What a tough day for that cast member. Woody seemed to break character in this video when a guy was filming Woody and Bo Peep as they were leaving their meet and greet, and Woody didn't seem too appreciative of the man filming them. Woody appeared to tell the man to cut the camera and even ended up pushing him. The video creator gave no context to what happened, but there obviously has to be more to this video. In the beginning of the video, the cast member and the characters seem to be talking about whether they should leave or not, and not in a very cheery mood. And how about this guy that went up to Woody and Buzz and said, "Andy's coming," and dropped to the floor?
Andy's coming!
But the awkward part is, Woody and Buzz didn't do it with him. In fact, Buzz just kept waving to the park guests, and Woody just looked down in disbelief. Woody even gave the signal that something was wrong. Maybe he thought the park guest was having a medical emergency, or Woody was just simply joking with the cast member. But definitely a terribly awkward moment here. I'm surprised that guy continued with the meet and greet after that. And Chip and Dale paid no attention to any of the park guests that were completely surrounding them at Disneyland Paris.
Bruh.
There were even kids grabbing onto them. Chip even had to grab Dale's hand to lead him away from the crazy children. And apparently, the kid in the blue hoodie thought this was an invitation to hold on to the pair of chipmunks' hands because he literally grabbed onto them. Chip tried to dance with one of the kids for a second and then nudged them away. Finally, Chip and Dale were able to make it out of there. Phew! Where are the parents while all their children are grabbing and being rude to Chip and Dale? And these park guests seem to be trying to make Ariel uncomfortable in this clip when they were talking about her hair.
You have the same kind of hair.
Oh my god, mine's natural though. Oh, it's not bottle red. Just kidding.
She's beefing with you. I'm sorry about her. She's jealous of other women.
Yeah.
They were trying to make Ariel break character by saying her hair wasn't real. They were trying to make Ariel break character by saying her hair wasn't real. Obviously, this isn't going to work because Ariel is trained to deal with park guests like this, and they immediately ended up going into the picture and ending the meet and greet after that. And that'll do it for this Magic Party video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
When emergency strikes, first responders rely on the latest technology. That's why T-Mobile built
I don't blame the kid.
Some Disney guests have absolutely no manners and even break the rules sometimes.
I do that too.
Today, we'll look at times when the most entitled Disney guests got caught on camera breaking the rules. This family did not like waiting after It's a Small World was stopped, and they decided to take matters into their own hands and climb out of the boat with their kids. And the wait couldn't have been that long since, according to the original poster, the ride started back up without an evacuation. Maybe the family had a lightning lane that was going to expire in an hour. Either way, they're not going to be in Disney much longer because 3 security guards escorted them out, according to the caption of the video. In 2023, some guy on Space Ranger Spin got out of his ride vehicle and ran through the ride. It's unclear if the ride stopped because this guy got out or if he got out after the ride stopped, but the next clip shows the man being escorted through the ride by a cast member. While he was walking with the cast member, he appeared to grab his backpack and then walk away, even though a kid was still in the ride vehicle. Was that his kid? There's not much context to this video, but if that was his kid he left, I wonder what happened. The exit on Space Mountain has a hallway with different themed rooms on the sides to entertain guests as they walk out of the attraction. These rooms are restricted areas though, but one lady decided not to care about the rules and climbed up into one of these themed rooms and sat down in the chair to take some photos. It does look like a cool place to take photos, but it's definitely not worth the risk of a ban from Disney. And this lady definitely got banned from Disney because she got up onto one of the Lunar New Year parade floats and blew kisses to the crowd. She quickly got off, but Goofy looked pretty shocked by what he had just witnessed his park guest do right next to him. Maybe this lady got dared, and if she did, it's definitely a high-risk one. This entitled family thought they had solved their issue when they were trying to get across to the other side of Main Street during a parade. They just ran right in front of one of the floats. The parade float had to immediately stop as soon as the family ran across the street. According to the original poster, the reason the family ran to the other side is because they wanted to see a different princess that was facing that side of Main Street. This unfortunate moment happened in 2021 when a 2-year-old was enjoying a parade at Disney when a man was so invested in filming the parade that he went and crowded right down in front of the kid, blocking the toddler's view. It's almost like the man did it on purpose when you see all the space that he had to the left of the kid. And the entire Coronado Springs resort area was left stunned when a kid climbed up to the top of the pyramid on the side of the pool. This pyramid's not meant for guests to climb onto, but this kid didn't care and climbed all the way up to the top. And it appeared that an adult had to climb up the steps to get the child to come back down. There's not much blocking the entrance to the steps, so maybe the kid thought it was just a water slide. But on St. Patrick's Day 2023, this unbelievable park guest went walking through the Epcot World Showcase flowers to take a picture next to a big Miss Piggy bush. Not sure why they had to stand next to it when they could just stand in front of it while being on the paved walkway. There are flowers there for a reason, you know, because you're not supposed to walk there. Get it? And I guess this kid didn't want to fight Darth Vader because he threw down and smashed his own lightsaber in the middle of the Jedi Academy. And then he immediately walked away and actually tried to jump off the front of the stage before a cast member stopped him. Maybe Darth Vader was using mind control.
We got work to do. That's delightful.
And this Magic Kingdom park guest was trying to take a cool video in front of Gaston's Tavern fountain when they caught something pretty strange in the video. In the background, they caught a park guest dipping their feet into the fountain water as if they were on the edge of a pool. It must have been really hot that day because I can't think of any other reason you would even consider putting your feet into a Disney fountain. This video is unbelievable because despite a cast member saying to remain seated on the Disney World Railroad, 2 kids got up from their seats to get off the train while it was still moving.
I'll tell them to do it yourself.
And it seems like they
Lazy,
actually thought they were doing the right thing because
lady.
as soon as another cast member yelled at them to stay in their seats, they got right back in. But this one might be even worse because while the Disney World Railroad was coming to a stop, a man jumped out of his seat to grab something he supposedly dropped out of the train. And after grabbing the item, he just strolled right into the station by himself. A cast member told him to get back on the train, but he completely ignored her and tried leaving anyway.
Please wait for the train to stop. Get back on the train. Please get back on the train.
But after all the cast members told him to get back on, he decided there was no use and took the walk of shame right back to his seat. And the worst part is, he could have just asked one of those cast members to safely retrieve his dropped item for him. But he didn't, and
At Strayer, you can earn your degree affordably with access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses.
If you are an adventure lifestyle person and you like to go off-roading a little bit, you might be considering this vehicle right here. But you might not think it's that practical for everyday driving. However, I'm going to tell you there's...
This live streamer named Disney Parks Live was showing off his Mickey Mouse ear painting they made when he panned to the left and showed a little boy running out into the Tomorrowland Speedway ride path to retrieve a BB-8 toy that somehow had gotten many feet away from the fence. And the mom was waiting to lift the child over the fence when he got back to it. That was an active ride path he was on. And for some reason, there are 2 videos from Disneyland Paris of park guests walking around restricted areas. One showed a little kid sliding down towards what we can assume and hope is his family. And the other video shows another child running and jumping around a Mickey Mouse bush with an obvious fence around it, while many adults looked on without doing anything about it. The kid was hopping around like they were playing tag on a playground. Would you want to be behind a park guest that was waving their dirty socks in the wind on Big Thunder Mountain? Because that was a few park guests' reality when this lady was seen holding her old socks above her head and assuming to dry them. Some comments said that despite the rudeness of this, it was actually a pretty smart way to dry your socks, especially after going on the log ride next door. What do you think about this video? This guy also tried taking advantage of a ride by trying to wet his cooling towel while he rode Living with the Land. At least there's no dirty socks involved with this clip, but his fingers were getting pretty close to the walkway. Good thing his fingers didn't get smashed between the boat and the walkway. And these park guests spent their time at Disneyland Paris putting stickers on all the poles they could find. A cast member has to get every one of those stickers off the pole so they won't be up there long. The stickers were of a football club, so there was luckily nothing inappropriate about them. And this park guest got thirsty during a Splash Mountain breakdown, and he decided to dip his water bottle into the water of the ride. And then he actually drank from the bottle. There's a lot of gross stuff in that water. Maybe someone should warn him about that. And here's some proof that the water's gross, because this Splash Mountain rider filmed themselves sticking their foot into the water that was pouring into the same water that the guy in the previous video was drinking. Not sure why you would want to stick your foot out of a Splash Mountain boat, but I guess person did. And this park guest was completely shocked when they witnessed another park guest try to get out of their Tiana's Value Adventure boat right before the lift hill. It appeared as if someone pulled him back into the boat as they were stepping out, and the ride was stopped because of them. There was even a cast member standing to the side. Can you imagine being so scared of the drop that you get out of the ride and actually risk your safety? If you ever watch Fantasmic, hopefully you have a better experience than these people, because they were in the front row and started pushing each other during the show. The people sitting behind them had to stand up to get out of the way of the 2 park guests fighting each other. The tension of the Fantasmic scenes must have transferred over to these park guests, and they got a little too much into it. But this park guest was actually held accountable for their rule breaking, because at Hollywood Studios' 50s primetime diner, guests can't use their phones. And this teenager got caught with his phone a few times and had to stare at the wall and get embarrassed in front of the whole restaurant.
Attention, everybody. This is what happens when you keep breaking mom's rules. We're going to say shame, shame, shame on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shame, shame, shame.
But these park guests got really close to the Radiator Springs race ride path, they were climbing all over the rocks, and they might have even got the ride shut down because when the park guests are that close to the track on the other side, it can lead to cast members to stop the ride for those park guests' safety. And this guest was kicked off of all the rides, the People Mover. How do you get kicked off the People Mover? Well, apparently the lady seen in the video was standing up on the ride. If you're getting kicked off the People Mover, you might as well get kicked out of the entire park because that's the chillest ride in the entire park. This extremely awkward moment happened when a park guest tried to say an inappropriate saying while pointing at a cast member.
Somebody smell like
The cast member immediately confronted him, and he backed out almost instantly.
Sorry.
That guy definitely won't be doing that again. And that'll do it for another Magic Party video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
When you own a business, you own every decision. The business card that gives back all you put in. Chase Sapphire Reserve for business.
We get a lot of ideas after dark. Denny's is actually a good one.
Terrifying.
You know those perfect Disney World princess moments where Cinderella glides into the room? Belle somehow knows exactly what to say to your kid, and Rapunzel turns a 10-second photo into a full little story? Disney princesses at Walt Disney World are not just wearing a dress and smiling for pictures. They are following a surprisingly strict royal rulebook. And some of these rules are so specific, so weirdly practical, and so deeply Disney that once you know them, you'll never watch a princess meet and greet the same way again. After years of studying the parks, watching character interactions, and digging into what former entertainment cast members have shared, these are 12 things Disney World princesses can't do at any price. And one toward the end is all about avoiding a pose that could look innocent in person, but very wrong once it hits the internet. So let's step through the castle gates and start with the rule that explains almost everything else. Number 1, they can't stop being the princess. At Walt Disney World, a princess does not play Cinderella in front of guests. She is Cinderella. That means she can't casually break character because someone makes a joke, brings up TikTok, asks about football, or tries to get her to say something modern just for the laugh. And yes, people absolutely try. Guests will ask Snow White if she has an iPhone. They'll ask Belle if Beast has a Netflix account. They'll ask Ariel if she's seen the Little Mermaid remake. And the princess has to glide right around that question like she's been dodging poison apples her whole life. Snow White might say something like, "Oh my, I'm not sure what kind of magic mirror that is." Belle might turn it into a conversation about books. That is the art. The princess is never supposed to make the guest feel silly. She can't destroy the world of character. So she redirects, reframes, and keeps the story alive. This is why the best character interactions usually happen when guests ask questions inside the princess's world. Once you understand that, the next rule makes way more sense. Number 2, they can't look like themselves while looking too much like the character. This one feels almost spy movie level. Disney princess performers cannot casually walk around Disney World looking too much like the character when they are off the clock. If someone is friends with Tinkerbell, Belle, or Cinderella, Disney does not want guests spotting her in street clothes and thinking, "Wait a minute, wasn't that the princess from Breakfast?" The magic depends on separation, and Disney tries very hard not to let those two worlds touch. That means performers have to be careful with costumes, wigs, hair, makeup, and even social media. She can't take personal photos in costume and post them like it's just a fun work outfit. She can't let friends tag her in a way that gives away the illusion, because from Disney's perspective, there is not supposed to be a woman who plays Ariel. There is Ariel. That's also why you may hear Disney fans say someone is a friend with a character. It's the polite, magic-preserving way to talk about performers without cracking the fantasy wide open. And this is not just about children. Adults notice everything. Social media notices even more. One wrong backstage post, one recognizable hairstyle, one viral "that's the princess from Magic Kingdom" moment, and suddenly the illusion becomes a comment section. Disney does not want that. And that brings us to the next rule, because before someone ever earns that crown, Disney has to decide which royal worlds they physically fit into.
Untamable Frizz. Everpure Iron Sleep by L'Oreal Paris. For humidity-resistant style, 7 days of frizz control.
Moving? Spectrum makes it simple. With the most reliable, fiber-powered internet for just...
Number 3, they can't choose any princess they want. Here's the part that a lot of people don't realize. You don't just show up to a Disney audition and say, "I'm here to be Belle." Even if you have Belle's voice, even if you own 17 yellow dresses,
Give me
even
money.
if your whole family has told you since age 6 that you were born for the ballroom. Disney casting decides where you fit in. And at Walt Disney World, character performance is incredibly specific. Disney's official character performer information says performers may pose for photos, sign autographs, create magical moments, and work in meet and greet locations across Walt Disney World. And it also notes that auditions can include movement combinations, animation exercises, and physical measurements like height, waist, and head circumference. That is a full casting system, because Disney is not only hiring an actor, they are maintaining consistency across thousands and thousands of guest interactions. And here's the humbling part. A performer might be wildly talented and still not be selected for a princess role. Not because she isn't good, but because Disney may not have a role that matches her exact look, height range, or current entertainment needs. That's the first big behind-the-scenes truth. Being a Disney World princess is not just about talent. It's about fitting into a living story that already has a specific silhouette. Number 4, they can't freestyle the look. A Disney princess cannot walk into Magic Kingdom and decide, "You know what? Today Belle is doing a smoky eye." Nope, absolutely not. The face, hair, makeup, wig, costume, and even autograph all have to stay consistent. This is where Disney gets extremely Disney. Princess makeup is not meant to look like an influencer glam tutorial. It is usually cleaner, softer, brighter, and more stage-friendly. The goal is not going out tonight. The goal is recognizable from the movie, readable in Florida sunlight, polished in photos, and appropriate for a family park. That means there are approved looks, approved colors, approved styling, approved wig placement, approved ways to refresh the look between sets. And the autograph? That is a performance too. When Ariel signs her name, it cannot look totally different from one day to the next because a different performer is friends with Ariel.
I have a migraine.
Afternoon. If a little girl meets Snow White at breakfast and then sees Snow White again later in the day, the dress, the voice, the posture, the autograph, and the sweetness should all line up because in that child's mind, it is not another performer, it is Snow White again. And Disney protects that idea with everything it has. You've seen how intense the level of detail is, down to the angle of a signature, but that's just the visible layer of the magic. Behind the castle walls, the rules get even wilder. We're moving beyond makeup tutorials and into a logistical ballet that involves thousands of guests, multiple performers, and one key principle: preserving the singularity of the character. Get ready because the next rule deals with an illusion so important that it's designed to prevent an awkward family conversation you never want to have at Fantasyland. Number 5, they can't be in 2 places at once, where you can see it. Disney World may be full of magic, but it does not want you seeing 2 Belles at the same time, ever. That would be the fastest way to turn Fantasyland into a very awkward family conversation. So, Disney carefully schedules princess appearances to protect the illusion that each character is singular. So there's only one Cinderella, one Tiana, one Rapunzel, one Snow White. If a princess is appearing in a parade, you are probably not going to see the same princess casually greeting guests across the park at the exact same moment. Behind the scenes, it might be a careful little ballet designed to prevent a royal duplicate disaster. And honestly, this is one of the reasons Disney World feels so seamless when it's working well. You don't see the machinery. You just see Belle arriving with perfect timing. But the princess herself has to follow the system. She can't wander and decide to say hello somewhere else, because in Disney's world, two Cinderellas don't cross paths, not on stage, not ever. And now we're moving from story rules to safety rules, and the next one surprises parents all the time.
Why is people in Disney is over the limit of obese as a woman, and has a big belly. Hide that belly on her pants, her shirt. Try to hold that belly. You just look like I don't know.
Number 6, they can't pick up your child. This one can feel a little disappointing in the moment, especially when a toddler runs toward a princess with arms wide open. But Disney princesses are not supposed to pick up children. They can hug, they can kneel, they can sit beside them in approved settings, but standing there holding someone else's child, that is a no. And the reason is simple: safety. Theme park costumes are not normal clothing. Princess gowns can be heavy, layered, warm, and restrictive. Shoes may not be ideal for holding weight. The performer may be managing a wig, a costume, a tight schedule, bright sun, crowds, and an emotional child all at the same time. If she lifts the child and the child squirms, slips, kicks, grabs jewelry, catches the dress, or leans backward, that magical photo can turn into a serious problem.
Black people. Curses. Me.
Very quickly. Disney does not want that risk, so instead, princesses create that same warmth in safer ways. They lower themselves to the child's level, and honestly, those photos often look better anyway. The child looks comfortable, the princess looks graceful. No one is trying to balance a wiggly preschooler in a ball gown. So, if you're visiting with little kids, prep them before the meet and greet. Tell them you can hug the princess, but she may not pick you up. That one sentence can prevent confusion in the moment. Because the princess is not being distant, she is following a rule designed to keep the magic safe. And safety is also why the next rule exists, even though it sounds oddly specific. Number.
Get a GoDaddy domain for just $4.99? Make your business legit with a name from the Daddy of Domains.
Number 7, they can't touch the top of your head. This sounds like one of those rules someone made up for a trivia video, but it makes sense once you think about it. A Disney princess generally should not pat, rub, or touch the top of a guest's head, especially a child's head. Part of this is hygiene, and also that wigs are expensive. And in a park that welcomes thousands of guests every day, Disney has to think about things like lice, hair products, sweat, and anything that could transfer from guest to performer or from performer to costume. But there's also a cultural piece. In some cultures, touching someone's head is rude, disrespectful, or deeply inappropriate. And Disney World is an international destination, so the safest standard is simple. Don't touch the head. And that does not mean the interaction becomes cold, not at all.
Don't touch private parts. Give me anybody.
A princess can hold a hand, give a curtsy. There are plenty of ways to make a child feel seen without touching the top of their head. But now let's talk about one of the most graceful Disney rules of all, because it turns something as boring as picking up trash into a tiny piece of choreography. Number 8, they can't bend straight over at the waist. Here's the one you asked about, and it's a fun one. The rule states that Disney cast members, especially princesses, should not simply bend over at the waist. While this is a broader Disney showmanship guideline rather than a specific royal decree, it perfectly encapsulates how princess performers are trained to move. Think about the potential visual disaster if Cinderella drops a small token. She can't just fold forward at the waist like a civilian grabbing car keys from a parking lot. That movement instantly shatters the royal silhouette. The intentional motion is replaced with elegance. This involves a soft bend through the knees, a controlled, deliberate lower, gentle skirt management if the gown requires it, and a graceful reach. She then returns upright as if the action was entirely effortless. That is the Disney difference. Practical movements are elevated to stay entirely within the character's world. A princess doesn't lunge for a dropped pin. She retrieves it with the smooth, composed effortlessness of a royal figure expecting a bird to land on her hand at any second. This meticulous attention to posture is essential because Disney World is a massive filming location. Guests constantly film every interaction. A single, tiny, awkward movement can be isolated, screenshotted, and turned into a meme, instantly reducing the character to, look what the princess did. The rule isn't just about what's on the floor, it's about maintaining absolute show quality from every angle and preserving the character's magic from the harsh lights of the internet. You may think these rules are getting a little too specific, focusing on things like a dropped pin or a smooth curtsy, but the truth is, the magic isn't just in the grand ballroom moments, it's in the constant, careful preservation of the illusion, especially in the age of instant video. Now we're moving from the subtle choreography into the most crucial modern safety rule, one designed to protect the performer, the character, and the entire brand from a single viral screenshot. Number 9, they can't make poses or movements that could look suggestive. This one has to stay in the script because it may be one of the most important modern character rules. Disney princesses have to avoid any movement, pose, gesture, or physical setup that could look suggestive, flirtatious in the wrong way, or easy to misinterpret, even if everyone in the moment knows it was innocent. Why? The princess has to protect the character, so the answer becomes a graceful redirect. She may offer a royal pose instead, a curtsy, a storybook wave, something warm but unmistakably family-friendly. A good character photo should never create confusion about contact, body language, or intent. No adult joke energy. Every movement still has to belong inside a family park. So if you're meeting a princess, don't ask for a weird pose. You will get better interactions if you give her something she can build on safely, and the magic will survive the upload. Now, if you thought that was strict, wait until you hear how Disney handles proposals. Number 10, they can't be in the center of your proposal moment. Disney World proposals happen all the time, in front of Cinderella Castle, near wishing wells, at character meals, during fireworks. Basic that guests' keepsakes remain timeless. A mismatched or sloppy signature could break the illusion for a child who compares autographs in the family scrapbook. So the next time Belle flips open your book and signs with that perfect flourish, know that she practiced hundreds of times to get it right. Practice sessions leave hands sore. Performers build wrist stamina signing book after book. Some add character-specific flourishes. Tiana dots her eyes with a lily pad. Rapunzel's Z resembles a lock of hair, turning simple autographs into cherished details. Rule 5. Use the famous Disney point. Pointing with one finger might be normal in everyday life, but not in the park. Walt Disney noticed that in some cultures, pointing with a single finger is considered rude. To avoid any unintended offense, cast members are trained to use 2 fingers or an open hand when giving directions. This Disney point has become so iconic that you'll see it in promotional photos and parades. Enchanted Insider's 2026 Guide to Disneyland Secrets notes that the 2-finger point is still taught in training as a sign of courtesy. Watch closely next time you ask a cast member where Pirates of the Caribbean is. They'll likely extend 2 fingers together and arc their arm gracefully. The simple gesture reflects the park's commitment to respect and cross-cultural understanding and is one of those subtle details that guests subconsciously register as part of the Disney feel. Performers practice pointing while staying in character too. A regal princess might point elegantly with a small hand motion, while a more energetic character like Rapunzel might use a wider sweep. These nuances show that even the tiniest movements are choreographed to reinforce the story. Trainees rehearse with a 2-finger point and open hand points until the motions feel natural, and guests sometimes adopt the gesture themselves. It's a tiny courtesy that spreads delight. Rule 6. Keep the park spotless without breaking character. Cleanliness is part of the Disney magic. Walt Disney insisted that no guest should be more than 30 steps from a trash can, yet stray napkins still blow across Main Street. Every cast member, including princesses, is expected to help pick up trash. But they can't just bend down and scoop up wrappers like a normal person. The Explorer article describes the swoop and scoop method. Performers elegantly swoop down, pick up the trash, and drop it into a can while strolling. It's designed to look like part of their walk and to preserve the immersive atmosphere. The rule also applies to rolls. The travel emphasizes that cast members must keep trash out of sight and may not be seen eating on the job. So if you see Belle gracefully swishing her skirt and suddenly scooping something off the ground, she's not performing a dance move, she's secretly keeping the pathway clear. It's a clever combination of guest service and stagecraft that ensures even mundane tasks maintain the illusion. We just came through the rules that make the performance look seamless. The autograph, the Disney point, and even the graceful way a princess can help keep the park clean. Now, we're entering the part of the list where the rules stop feeling like performance details and start feeling surprisingly emotional. Because the final rules are about protecting people, especially kids. We're talking hugs, babies, personal space, and the one phrase a Disney princess is never supposed to say. Rule 7. Master the art of hugs and hands. Disney characters are pros at physical interaction, and there are specific safety and courtesy rules to follow. One of the sweetest guidelines is that princesses will never end a hug before the child they're hugging does. Explore.com explains that this practice creates magical moments. Kids sometimes hold on for dear life, and the performer will patiently wait until they release. A HuffPost writer even noted that she learned to savor moments with her own child by watching a princess hug. When you're next in line, watch how patiently they wait. Safety is also paramount. Because fur characters have limited visibility and bulky costumes, cast members are strictly forbidden from holding babies. The risk of dropping a child is too high, so if a parent tries to place a baby in Mickey's arms, the performer will gently decline or kneel to get the baby close to the ground. Phase characters like princesses could technically hold a baby, but they follow the same policy to avoid setting inconsistent expectations. It's one of those rules that seems obvious once you think about it, but I've watched more than one parent try to hand their infant to Goofy for a photo, only to be politely redirected. Now, villains have their own rules. Explore.com notes that antagonists, such as the Evil Queen or Gaston, typically won't kneel or sit. Partly this is because their costumes make it difficult, but it also reinforces their superior attitude. In contrast, princesses are encouraged to kneel or crouch to meet kids at eye level. You'll see Belle gather her skirt and sit on the ground to have a real conversation with a shy child. These subtle body language rules ensure that the characters convey the right personality while also staying safe. When meeting guests, princesses and other face characters are guided by the 5 keys: safety, courtesy, inclusion, show, and efficiency. Inclusion was added in 2021, and Attractions Magazine notes that the goal is to create an environment where all guests feel welcome. That means being sensitive to guests' needs, using inclusive language, and making eye contact. It's a lot to juggle, but performers tell me it becomes intuitive with practice. They also
Hey guys, where have you been? Well, we couldn't have 2 of the same characters every single episode, so I don't know.
We're just gonna pretend like you're not there. Okay, Bonnie, let's play a game.
Okay.
Okay, Bonnie, on 3, say the best game that was ever invented. Ready?
1, 2, 3,
Call
Call
of Duty.
5 Nights at Freddy. Okay, on 3, name the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Joe Burrow. Lamar Jackson. Okay.
Okay, on 3, name the best soda to ever be invented. Ready?
1, 2,
3,
Coke.
Pepsi.
What? Oh no.
There's no way you just said Coke.
I did say Coke because Coke is way better than Pepsi.
Coke is only popular because it's been around longer.
And that's exactly why Pepsi exists, is to beat Coke.
Coke has too strong of a flavor. Pepsi is sweeter, it tastes better cold, it's more smooth, and overall it just has a better flavor than Coke.
Wow, you are on the perk 3. I want whatever you're puffing if you think Pepsi is better than Coke. Right, Frostbear? I want whatever he's puffing. Please don't drag me into this. Also, with your dumb arguments, you're literally proving that Coke is better than Pepsi. Coke is better because it has a stronger flavor, it's more refreshing, and it goes with everything. You can have Coke with burgers and fries, you can have Coke with chicken nuggets and fries, you can have Coke with literally everything. It's a classic, you can't go wrong with it. Pepsi is trying too hard to beat Coke.
Oh, if it's such a classic, then why is Pepsi even a competitor? People got tired of Coke, so they made Pepsi.
Wow, let me get a hit of what you're smoking.
Maybe instead of Coke, it should be called Cock because it tastes like it.
Which is exactly why it tastes so good.
That came out wrong.
Guys, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just soda. You're right, Frostberry. It's really not that big of a deal, so I'm gonna end our friendship over this debate. Ah, there you go, but what? Tell me when you're sober, Goldie, because maybe then we can be friends.
Let me know when you turn your life around so you can come back to Jesus.
Guys, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. What about you, Frostbear? What side are you on? Are you Republican or a Democrat?
That is not what we're talking about. Where did you come up with that?
I don't know. Guys, instead of arguing which one is better, why don't we just do a blind taste test? No, because I don't want to admit that I'm wrong.
Yeah, even though he is wrong.
Shut up, liberal.
That's not even what we're talking about.
Guys, please, let's just do a blind taste test to see which one is the best.
We heard it the first time, and I'm down just to prove he's wrong.
I am not wrong. But sure, I'll do it. Just so I can prove he's wrong.
Bonnie, this is going to end our friendship, and I am so ready to take that risk.
Let's start this test before anything escalates. Okay, guys, we're gonna do a blind taste test. I'm gonna give you a Coke and a Pepsi, and you tell me which one you think is which. Bonnie, you're up first. I can't see.
That's the whole point, you dimwit. Now go.
Okay, Bonnie, you got Coke and you got Pepsi right in front of you. I'm not gonna tell you which one is which because that would ruin the competition. You're gonna taste both of them at the same time and tell us which one you think tastes better. Okay, let me taste this one first. I missed it. Ugh, that one tastes like diarrhea. Let me taste this one. So, get ready. Ooh, this one tastes really good. This is my Coke right here. This is delicious. Okay, buddy, we're gonna take the blindfold off, but we're not gonna tell you your results. Okay, Cody, it's your turn. I mixed up the drinks so you wouldn't be able to tell which one's which. All right, you can go ahead and start.
This has got to be a piece of cake. All right, let's try this first one. Tastes like Bonnie's mom, which is delicious.
Haha, that joke didn't make sense, you idiot, because my mom's dead.
I know this one is Pepsi because this one is delicious. Oh, wow. This might actually be my Pepsi because this is... Hold on, let me get another sip. Oh, yeah, this is Pepsi. This has got to be Pepsi. This is absolutely delicious.
Okay, Cody, I'm gonna take the blindfold off and I'll tell you both of your results. All right, gentlemen, the results are in. Wait, can I be the one to tell Cody that he lost?
Well, I was gonna say the same thing. You tried Pepsi and you said it was better.
What? No, I didn't. You tasted Coke and you said Coke was better.
BS. Frostbear, just tell him he's lying.
Actually, Cody, both of you are telling the truth. Yep, you both are telling the truth. Bonnie, you thought Coke was Pepsi, and you said Pepsi was better. And Cody, well, you thought Pepsi was Coke, so you thought Coke was better. This can't be happening.
I've committed blasphemy. I'm gonna burn forever.
Sorry to break it to you, but Bonnie, you think Pepsi's better than Coke, and Cody, you think Coke is better than Pepsi. I don't know who I am anymore.
If you just excuse me for a moment, everybody, I'm just gonna go kill myself real quick.
I'm gonna go to therapy. I'll be right. Huh? What have I done? Excuse me, guys. Just wanted to say I'm sorry for doing this blind taste test. It was wrong of me, and I didn't mean to drive you guys apart because I... What are you guys doing? We've come together as a couple and collectively decided that root beer is the best soda.
We are not a couple, but we have decided that root beer is the best soda.
Oh, well, I'm glad you guys came together and found a solution. I'm just glad you guys are friends again. Yup, we're still friends even though he made fun of my dead mom.
Oh, come on. You know I was joking.
I don't care if you were joking. It still hurt my feelings and my fragile ego.
Maybe that's a you problem because you have such a fragile ego.
Don't even give me
Yeah, here we go again. Making fun of me. You're always the one to start arguments, Bonnie. You know
Scrubbing bubbles. That's the scrubby way.
So, what do we think? Are there any synergies?
What are the benchmarks?
It still has to go through market research.
It needs a good name.
It has.
I feel like it's been a while.
Well, that's because it has been. Huh. No, anyway, you want to watch some YouTube?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, what up, chat? Welcome back to the stream. Today we playing some Rocket League. Make sure to spam W's in the chat so I can afford my new Lamborghini and my Rolex coming in. Chat. Are we excited for this? Hey, type 1 if you're excited for this Rocket League. Type 2 if you're bricked up. Type 3 if you are confused by the question. Type 4 if you like turtles.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes, on the count of 3, we say the same thing at the same time. Ready? 1, 2...